I want you to take a second and think of something that makes you sad. What makes you cry? What sparks you to start to swell up inside before the tears start spreading through your eyes and cheeks? Is it the part of the movie where the couple breaks up? Or is it the last day with your best friend, your dog, before it's put down? What about the time you loved someone, got the courage to ask them out, and in the end got rejected? And do the onions you've been cutting for half an hour keep you crying? Whatever the answer is, there's one thing that all brings us together and cry together: the death of a loved one. We cry and weep and grieve when we lose someone close to us. The Chinese customs encourages people to show their grief at the funeral. There are mourners who grieve until they run out of tears and are confident explaining the worth and the life the deceased once carried. Their grief helps them to carry on in life and have hope. The rituals, the families, the friends, and mourners do what they can to give them a good memorial before they are buried or cremated. If they are not buried well, then they might suffer in the next world. The Chinese funeral customs vary due to the different regional groups and other circumstances, but they share a common virtue that spreads throughout the Chinese culture: filial piety. Filial piety is the veneration or respect of one's parents, elders, and ancestors. It means respect. In other words, it means to respect your parents. It comes from Confucianism, the system of ethics the Chinese developed to maintain one's worth and status. This comes into play in funeral customs because respect for elders means everything. When the person dies, the family stays with the deceased for 8 hours or more to grieve. They continue to lament as they think about the deceased and carry on the rest of the funeral rituals. They set up a banner outside of their home, white for young people and white for old people. In addition, they burn paper money, appliances, cars, and other necessities, even houses. Before the day of the funeral, they hold a small ceremony with an altar and a beautiful photo of the deceased. People present candles, food, and sweets the deceased loved. On the day of the funeral, the deceased living family wears white instead of black. It symbolizes that they sold and burned everything to pay for this funeral, to show reverence for them. The mourners walk up to the altar and bow 3 times to the deceased person's picture and tend to stay longer to pay respects for the deceased. After some rites done by monks, everyone takes the chance to look at the dead body in the half-open coffin one last time and weep for the loved one before they are buried. It is important that we need to show remorse and lament when we go through our hardships. Crying can help relieve the stress that we are put in when we face these fearsome problems. For me, I lost a friend or 2 or more, and it doesn't apply to being gone for good. It's more than that. Drifting apart, getting into fights and breaking apart, and being betrayed and getting bullied. These are all moments where I tried to stay strong, but it didn't work out. I cried and it helped me get through it a lot. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel of darkness and despair. At the end of their mourning, the family set up a permanent shrine for their deceased and hold a small feast with all the Chinese cuisine, conversing to the deceased photo like they are still there. There's hope. That's what they have. Even though they were still in pain and despair because they lost their loved one, they still have hope. Even if they were lamenting over them, they have hope with them. We can think about them, cry on, and move on, but we can always still think about them. If we always remember them, they'll be alive in our memories. Taoist writer Chuang Tzu once said, "We are born as from a quiet sleep, we die to calm awakening. We are all born to die. As one dies, they awake to get to one of the 6 destinations of the afterlife from Chinese belief. As our spirit dies from the grief of losing them, we awake again to move forward. So, let's just live. Thank you for listening.